Hey, what's up, guys? Coming to you with another What's Next. This is on my number 2 light heavyweight in the world right now at 175 pounds. Former 3-time light heavyweight champion, Sergey Kovalev. Kovalev's coming off of a tough 11th round TKO loss to Canelo Alvarez in their super fight back in November. Kovalev said having to train after that tough fight he had with Anthony Yarde in August, really, and he was only had 10 weeks of time in between fights, that really hurt him, and wore him out. I believe that to be true, but hey, he took the fight and he got knocked out. So, the big question now is what's next for Sergey Kovalev? Well, Kovalev had mentioned that he wants to move up to cruiserweight. He's got legal issues going up a lot on right now too, that he's got to deal with. But those to the side, he's got a lot going on, he talked about moving up to cruiserweight. He was supposed to be facing Sullivan Barrera on April 25th in his neck. Actually, today, it's April 25th. He was supposed to be facing him in a main event of a DAZN card, so I don't believe he's with ESPN at Top Rank anymore. He was supposed to be facing him at a catch weight of about 180 pounds. Cruiserweight is 200 pounds, but it's the next division above light heavyweight, and he's saying that's the division he wants to go to. But, I don't know. I really, there's no big names at cruiserweight, and those guys hit hard, and Kovalev is older and slower now, so, unless he really can't make the weight or he's struggling to make weight, I really think light heavyweight's the best option for him. I just think he needs to fight twice a year. He can't do the 3 times a year thing anymore. He needs more rest. He needs to take, at most 2 fights a year like the normal top guys do now, and not put so much on himself, and train as hard as he's obviously training and wearing himself out like that. So I'm going to run up through the top 10 at 175 because there's been no clear direction that him and Kovalev him and Barrera is still going to be happening next. So let's run through the top 10 at light heavyweight and see what's next for Kovalev. We start with number 1, a showdown with undefeated unified champion, Artur Beterbiev. Not going to happen. Beterbiev has a mandatory due against Meng Fanlong next. And after that, I know he was looking at a unification with Dimitri Bivol possibly, but nothing confirmed. So I don't think, I think he would face Kovalev, but honestly, I don't think Kovalev has any interest in Beterbiev. But it wouldn't happen next either way because of the mandatory that Beterbiev has, so not happening. Number 3 is a third fight with the leader Alvarez. This is another fight that I can see down the road, these 2 guys locking horns again, but not next. Alvarez is competing in the 4-man box-off to determine the next WBO light heavyweight champion. That's the belt Canelo took from Kovalev, and he vacated because he wanted to move back down in weight. So, do I think that fight is possible next? No. Alvarez is going to face Joe Smith Jr. in the semifinals of that 4-man box-off, so it's not happening. Number 4 is undefeated WBA champion Dimitri Bivol. If Kovalev wanted this fight, he could get it. Bivol is desperate for opponents. He's with Matchroom and DAZN. He could get this fight if he wanted it, but Bivol is a technical beast, and I think Kovalev doesn't want that kind of fighter in his next fight, so absolutely don't think he chooses him. Number 5 is former champion Alexander Volcik. Volcik is another technical whiz in the ring. He's a good fighter, and he's technical. He's also not a big name, and he doesn't bring any world titles to the table. He's coming off a knockout loss, too, just a couple weeks before Kovalev got knocked out. So maybe the guys would want to come together, but honestly, I don't see it. I don't think Kovalev wants to take that much of a risk next. Number 6 is, number 6, light heavyweight, is Jean Pascal, a third fight with him. I don't think this fight makes sense for Kovalev outside of becoming a 4-time light heavyweight champion, but I really do think it'd be a waste right now because Kovalev, he's just risking getting beat after he's already decisively defeated Pascal twice. He stopped Pascal the first time in 8 rounds, but, people thought it was an early stoppage, but I felt like it was just it was an inevitable stoppage. He was going to knock Pascal out no matter what. Referee just jumped in a little early, so, I didn't think it was that controversial, but they decided their score in the rematch, and I didn't think this was 2016, and he destroyed Pascal in their rematch, beat him down, stopped him in 7 rounds this time, left no doubt. So, You know, 4 years later, some odd 4 years later, would he need to fight him again? You know, Pascal has found the Fountain of Youth, beating Marcus Brown and beating Badu Jack last year. But I really don't think Kovalev would consider it. But he might, just because it would be third, you know, his fourth light heavyweight title. But I'm going to lean towards the less likely on this one. Number 7 is Marcus Brown. I don't think Brown doesn't have a big name. He's young. He's southpaw. He can box. And he's got some pop too. So I don't think Kovalev would want to take a risk on a guy like that. Not a big name either. Number 8 is former 2-division champion Badu Jack. Definitely think Kovalev would be interested in this one. Jack's an older fighter, former 2-division champ, brings a name to the table. But I really think Jack is going to be facing Pascal next for the WBA regular title in a rematch. So I'm going to lean towards the less likely on this one. And then number 9 is undefeated Gilberto Ramirez. You never know, could be possible, but I don't think you'd want to take the risk on an undefeated fighter like Ramirez who throws a lot of punches, so I'm going to lean towards the no. And then finally at number 10 would be Joe Smith Jr. You know, it's not possible because Joe Smith's competing in that 4-man box-off to determine the next WBO champion. He's going to face off against Eliter Alvarez, you know, and yeah, him and Kovalev wouldn't be possible next. So that's it for the top 10 versus Sergey Kovalev at light heavyweight. What do I think Kovalev's going to do next? I honestly think he's probably going to lean towards that fight with Barrera. He's going to stay with that and shake off, you know, and get a win there, shake off the rust, and then push forward and decide if he's going to stay at light heavy or move up to cruiserweight. So see what happens. That's the what's next on my number 2 light heavyweight in the world right now, Sergey Kovalev. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.